I still remember the exact second my world caught fire, not the kind I run into, but the kind that burns from the inside out. It was 3:07 a.m. when my phone lit up, and my mother's voice screamed through it, "Your sister's dying, Marcus. Send $22,000 right now, or they'll let her die and dump the bills on you." I didn't even sit up. I just said, "Call your golden boy," and hung up. Then I turned the phone face down and let the darkness swallow me again. That was the moment I stopped being the family's human extinguisher. My name's Marcus Reed. 31. Firefighter. Middle child in a house that always needed saving. I live in a cramped studio 2 blocks from the station, close enough to smell the diesel, far enough that the sirens don't rattle my windows all night. My place smells like coffee grounds and neoprene from the gear I hang in the hallway like some kind of talisman. I don't own much, a bed that creaks when I roll over, a second-hand couch the color of smoke, and a fridge that hums louder than my thoughts most nights. People say I'm steady. Dependable. The one who shows up. At work, that's a compliment. At home, it's a life sentence. My older brother, Caleb, is the one they still talk about in proud whispers, like he's frozen at 17, the star point guard who was gonna go pro before the knee gave out and the parties got louder. My little sister, Lila, learned early how to be fragile in just the right way, big eyes, soft voice, problems that always needed fixing. And me? I learned to carry water buckets while everyone else stood around watching the flames. That night, the call came like so many before it. Mom's voice shredded, frantic, the way it gets when she's performing Panic. Lila's in the ER, Marcus. They won't treat her without money up front. Dad in the background, muttering something about how the responsible one should have already sent it. No details. No, how are you? Just the demand. 22,000. Like it was loose change I kept in a jar labeled, family emergencies. I could hear the hospital beeping faintly behind them, or maybe that was my pulse in my ears. And something else, someone breathing too close to the phone. I asked what happened. Mom cut me off, "Don't play hero right now, just send it." Dad snarled, if he gave a damn, the money would already be there. That word, he, landed like a boot on my chest. I was always he. Never Marcus. Never son. Just the ATM with legs. So I said it calm, cold, final, "Call Caleb." Then I ended the call. The room went dead quiet except for the hum of the fridge. I stared at the ceiling crack that looks like a lightning bolt frozen mid-strike. My phone buzzed again. And again. I didn't flip it over. I just lay there, heart hammering, waiting for the guilt to rush in like smoke under a door. It didn't come. Morning hit like a mallet. 7:18 a.m. unknown number. Mr. Reed. Detective Harlan, downtown precinct. We need you to come in. It's about your sister and your parents. My stomach dropped through the floor. I was lacing my boots before he finished the sentence. Growing up, our house ran on a simple rule: Marcus will handle it. Caleb wrecked the car. Marcus works double shifts at the warehouse. Mom's medical bill came due. Marcus picks up overtime. Lila needed braces, rent, a way out of whatever mess she fell into. Marcus. I started volunteering at the firehouse at 19 because it was the first place anyone ever thanked me for showing up instead of blaming me for not showing up sooner. Fire doesn't play favorites. It doesn't rewrite history to make itself the victim. You fight it or you don't. Simple. But family. Family is a slow-burning structure fire you never see coming until the floor collapses. A month before the 3 a.m. call, Lila had shown up at my door with a duffel and a split lip. Her latest boyfriend had lost his temper. She cried on my couch while I held frozen corn to her face. She swore she was done with him. Promised she'd get her life together. Needed a place to crash, just until payday. I gave her the key. Set her up with my old spare phone because hers was shattered. Even transferred my backup debit card to a joint account, for emergencies only, groceries, gas, nothing else. I wrote the PIN on a sticky note and stuck it to the fridge under the magnet shaped like a Dalmatian. Trusted her. Because she's my little sister. I started noticing things after that. $40 here. $70 there. Charges from gas stations I'd never been to. I told myself I was being paranoid. Long shifts mess with your head. Changed the PIN anyway. Took photos of my statements. Didn't say a word to her. Didn't want to believe it. Then came the night she was on my couch, phone on speaker, Mom's voice filling the room like smoke. Caleb needs a cosigner for a truck. Just your name, Marcus, no money down. I walked in mid-conversation, soaked in sweat and soot from a 3 alarm. Lila wouldn't meet my eyes. I said no. First time in my life. Mom lost it. You think you're better than us because you play hero? Caleb texted later, bro, relax. It's just paperwork. I didn't reply. Lila moved out a week later. Hugged me tight, promised to pay back every cent. I checked the fridge after she left. The sticky note was flipped over. On the back, in handwriting that wasn't mine, someone had scrawled numbers. Card numbers. Pins. Expiration dates. I should have changed everything right then. But that wasn't the worst of it. At the precinct, Detective Harlan slid a folder across the table like he was passing me a live grenade. Lila was in the ER, yes, overdose scare, oxy, mixed with benzos. She was stable. But here's what turned my blood to ice. Hospital security footage showed my parents at the ATM in the lobby at 2:47 a.m., trying my backup card. Over and over. Declined. Then smaller amounts. Approved. My father punching in the PIN he wasn't supposed to know. My mother on the phone to the billing desk, screaming that her son would pay, demanding they hold treatment until the money cleared. They weren't trying to save Lila. They were trying to rob me while she was unconscious. Detective Harlan watched me carefully. We pulled her phone too. Your mom took it from her in the ER. Used it to call you. Lila didn't know about the card until we told her. He paused. She's willing to enter a program. No charges if she completes it. Your parents, that's up to you. He slid the complaint form across the table. I stared at my own handwriting on that sticky note in an evidence bag, my Wi-Fi password on one side, my financial life on the other. Everything I'd given freely, weaponized. The door burst open. Mom stormed in, hair perfect, eyes wild. Marcus. Tell them this is a mistake. You were asleep, you misunderstood. Dad behind her, arms crossed, glaring like I was the criminal. Real brave, turning on your own blood. I looked at them, really looked. And for the first time, I didn't see parents. I saw people who'd been burning my house down for years and calling it warmth. I picked up the pen. Detective Harlan asked quietly, you sure? I signed. Mom screamed. Dad cursed. Security led them out in cuffs while they shouted my name like a curse. But the real twist, the one that still keeps me up nights. Lila's final text from the hospital, before they took her phone, I woke up and heard them talking. They weren't worried about me, Marcus. They were arguing about how much they could get before you noticed. I'm so sorry. I never gave them the PIN. I swear Caleb already had it. Caleb. My perfect brother. The one who hadn't answered a single call that night. He'd been in my apartment weeks earlier, borrowing a jacket. Long enough to photograph my cards. Long enough to copy the sticky note. Long enough to hand it all to our parents like a treasure map. The fire I thought I'd finally put out. It had been set by the person I'd have died for without hesitation. I still haven't spoken to any of them. Charges are moving forward. Lila's in rehab, she sends letters through her counselor. Short. Honest. Painful. Caleb vanished the day the warrants went out. Some nights I sit on my couch, the same one Lila cried on, and stare at the empty spot on the fridge where the sticky note used to be. I changed every password, every lock, every account. I even started saving for something that's just mine. A piece of land up north. Quiet. No sirens unless I want them. I thought being a firefighter meant running toward danger. Turns out the hardest fire to face was the one in my own blood. If this had happened to you, if the people who were supposed to protect you tried to bleed you dry while your sister lay dying, would you have signed that form? Or would you still be paying the bills and watching your life burn? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one.